Well, one of the major heartbeats at Vineyard Boise is this theme called N4, which basically means that we're in Garden City for the sake of Garden City. And this church has been known to do some really amazing stuff, whether that's we have an ice cream truck where we go out and give out free ice cream during the summer, or our movie nights where we throw these big parties and everyone comes from the neighborhood. My heart is that we would take it to the next step and that we would be able to go into the actual neighborhoods. In Eugene Peterson's version of the Bible, The Message, he says in John 3 that Christ came in the flesh and moved into our neighborhood. And I think that's a really beautiful reference in Scripture to stir our hearts to say, hey, let's try to get away from just the attractional model where we try to put on things for people to come to, but we could actually go where people are in their need and then meet those needs.
Vineyard got donated a ton of jackets, coats, blankets, stuff like that.
We all met at the church and we organized all this stuff.
With different sizes coats, lots of kids ones, girls ones, boys ones, had them all divvied up. So we loaded up our church's box truck.
Prayed together and rolled out to a neighborhood right down the street.
It's actually really close to the church, just to go and love on people.
We knocked on doors and just asked people what they needed, if they needed any coats or blankets to keep warm. And a lot of people at first said no, but they were super nice about it. So we knocked on this one door and there was a family of 5 and they had 4 young girls and they were all wearing their coats and they were really cold, you could tell. And they didn't speak English at first, and we started speaking Spanish to them. As soon as we were able to break through that barrier, we were able to connect with them and find out what they need, and that was really amazing to see the transformation from like not understanding each other and what are you guys doing knocking on my door to like, oh yes, like we need this and this.
We saw so many amazing things, and people really that normally wouldn't do something like this, I think were really surprised to find out just how much God is in it when you show up with those resources and offer those for absolutely no strings attached, but a blessing, and to show them the real practical of Jesus.
And there was this one kid, Javier, he's only 16 years old, and you could tell there was such a leadership gifting on his life. He was kind of like, in a way, seemed like the head of the household. And there was little kids living with him, and his mom was sick and stuff like that. So you could just tell God gave him an old soul, and we got to call out that leadership gifting on his life and bless him through prayer and prophecy. And it's just really exciting to see what might come of that, what type of roles of leadership he might take in his community. And I don't know, maybe had we not gone there and called out those things in him, who knows where he'd be. So I'm excited to do more follow-up stuff with him, do more outreaches, and hopefully bump into him again and see what God's been speaking to him.
There's a reason why we're called Cultivation Young Adults, and that's because we believe, just like in the farming aspect of cultivating ground, there's many stages of cultivating something into fruition and to seeing like the fruit that people get to enjoy. And our desire is to see really a value of mission cultivated in the hearts of the people that we serve with our young adults.
Our first house was this family that had, I think, 4, maybe 5 kids.
Started talking to them, told them why we were here. They were from the vineyard, and asked them if they wanted any clothes. And
they were in need of a lot of stuff. They all needed coats. They asked for blankets.
And then we asked the mom if she wanted anything. And while we were talking, the girl said, "You guys brought us presents this Christmas.
You guys are from the vineyard. We got Whittier boxes. We got Christmas boxes."
And so they started telling us about how one got a hat and the other got a scarf and a water bottle.
They were so excited that we were the same people. We were from the same church, and that blew my mind, actually, that there was a connection there.
The mom, after we got them all jackets, said she wanted some blankets. So we went back towards the truck, and the girls, 2 of the older girls came with us from the family.
And my very favorite moment was when Chris took one of the blankets and wrapped the younger of the 2 girls, and her face just like totally lit up.
I think every young person desires truly in their heart to make a bigger impact, but a lot of times they just don't know where to start or how to get there. And that's why I believe there's this great opportunity through the outreaches that we're doing with Cultivation Young Adults and giving them just the practical tools to say, hey man, this is what we're gonna do. Here are the tools to do it. Now go and taste and see that this is something that's gonna bring you more life than you ever thought possible. Not everybody necessarily is ready to go knock on somebody's door or do maybe some of these different outreaches that we're doing. But our heart's desire is to create these opportunities, whether that's manning the truck or helping sort through the clothes or whatever it is that we do, to give people the opportunity to step into those things and to wean into those things. Of course, our ultimate goal is to see them break out of their comfort zones and try something new that maybe they've never done before.
Just getting to watch Chris love on them, he was telling them about Jesus and how really that there's no qualifications to loving Jesus, which was a really cool thing.
We got to talk to him about the Lord just in a kind of real and conversation kind of way.
Myself and another girl were able to pray for this family. We were able to pray for them in Spanish, which was new to both me and the other girl in my group. It was kind of scary, but it was fun. They received it, and as we said goodbye, there was just a humble sense of gratitude in her eyes that was humbling to us as well. So to be able to help people in such a simple, small way, I think had a big impact. And
what's crazy about it is when we go out on these sort of outreaches, we're giving things away, but what we don't realize is we're actually getting so much more in return than we ever, could have ever imagined.